The following is a production of CUTV Sports.
Only 4 teams remain in the battle for the PSAC crown. In the first semifinal of the day, it's the Lady Knights of Gannon and the Huskies of Bloomsburg from McCone Fieldhouse. Hello everyone, I'm Allison Steinheiser. Alongside me is Zach Lamar. And Zach, let's take a look at the last games for both of these teams, starting with Bloomsburg.
And Bloomsburg came off a big 25-point victory over East Stroudsburg, who had upset Millersville, the 4th seed, in the first round of the PSAC tournament. And East Stroudsburg, they didn't have the same success against Bloomsburg. Bloomsburg has a lot of tough players on their team. Catherine Nowak, the East Player of the Year. And Bloomsburg, they're the number 1 team trying to reclaim their crown this year. And the matchup against the team they beat in the finals last season, Gannon.
And they're going against a very tough team in Gannon who came off of a close victory against California.
And Gannon, that's the 3rd time they've played California all year, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. Gannon came with a 5-point victory at home with some late Kelly Sunberg free throws. Nettie Blake, Jen Poppich, both in double figures as well. Their defense holding California to 57 points. Gannon holding their opponents to under 58 points all season long, so it's very hard for their opponents to score on them.
It really is, and we talked about these 2 teams. Now we're going to take a look at the rest of the PSAC bracket. As we said, this is the first semifinal of the day. The second one is between the Westchester team and the Edinburgh team as well.
Yeah, and both of the top 2 seeds in the East and West are here, the way it should have played out on paper. Edinburgh has hosting rights because they're the number 1 team in the West. Next year it'll be the top team in the East, as it flip-flops every year. But Edinburgh, with the home court advantage, we'll see if they can claim a PSAC crown. They won one a couple years ago, and they've been there a lot. But Bloomsburg may seem to be the favorite after winning it last year and having that experience on their team.
They might be the favorite, but the last time these 2 teams matched up, that was Bloomsburg's last loss on the season.
Yeah, Bloomsburg since has won 17 games in a row. Jen Poppich had a late layup with 3 seconds left to seal the deal for Gannon, and they won 65-63. That was only one of 4 games, though, that Nettie Blake did not score in double figures. I know we'll touch on her a little bit later, but Gannon also had a 17-game winning streak up to that point. They've since lost twice to the same team in Edinburgh, who is here at this tournament. So all these matchups that could possibly happen, all these teams have played each other this year, so it's hard to say exactly what could happen just looking on paper, but you have to look at the last games these teams played against each other.
You do have to look at the last games, and you talked about 2 of the players. They're going to be our players to watch. Catherine Nowak has to be one of the top. She is one of the top players in the PSAC.
And she's the PSAC East Athlete of the Year on the women's basketball side. She leads the entire nation in three-point percentage at 49.4%. She also shoots above 50% from the field and just under 90% from the free throw line, so she's a pure shooter. Gannon might have to put some double teams on her. They have really good defenders. See if they can keep Bloomsburg under that season average. You have to stop Catherine Nowak first. Speaking
of double teams, Bloomsburg's going to have to put a double team down low on Nettie Blake.
In the game against California, Nettie Blake, she's so much taller than a lot of players in a PSAC. Kelly Sunberg would just throw the ball up and let Nettie Blake catch it and go right to the basket. If Bloomsburg, though, can put a couple double teams on her and trying to stretch her off her game, get her into foul trouble as well. Like I said, she didn't score double figures against Bloomsburg. That's only one of 4 times. She's been one of the most consistent players in the West all year long. You have to find some way to stop her if you want to come away with a victory.
You really do, and both these teams are going to be looking to punch their ticket to the PSAC final next, right here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
CUTV Sports is proud to present the PSAC Championship semifinal between the Huskies of Bloomsburg and the Lady Knights of Gannon. Zach, taking a look now at our tail of the tape. You see both these teams pretty evenly matched.
Very evenly matched. I think the one advantage Bloomsburg have is they are a much better team at the charity stripe. 6 percentage points better than Gannon, 77% over 71. Another key thing, Bloomsburg forces more steals. They also turn the ball over more. Gannon in the game against California had 18 turnovers. They also forced 18 California turnovers though. And Gannon happened to win that game by 5 points. If they can force Bloomsburg into the same thing, they might win. If Bloomsburg can keep their turnovers down, get a lot of their shots to fall in, 46%, 77% from the charity stripe, and they'll have a chance to win as well. This game could go either way. Bloomsburg won in the finals last year. Gannon won in the regular season this year. Basically, third time's the charm. We'll see who comes out on the better end of the deal.
Taking a look at your starting lineups now, starting with Bloomsburg, you have number 3, Jocelyn Ford. Number 15, our player to watch, Catherine Nowak. Number 24, Morgan Klunk. Number 25, Adrina Sadowski. And number 33, Maria Simmons. Taking a look now at Gannon's starting lineup, you start with number 3, Kelly Sundberg. Another senior, number 11, Jen Papich. Number 15, Molly Sebald. Number 20, Brittany Batts. And finally, number 44, Nettie Blake.
And the starting fives for each of these teams, Gannon has a little bit more firepower based on the offensive end in their starting lineup, but Bloomsburg, do not count them out. Nowak averaging 16 points a game, Ford at 12 points, Sadowski 13 a game as well. And another note, we mentioned Nowak is the best three-point shooter in the entire nation. Brittany Batts for Gannon, she shoots just about 47% behind the arc, the second best in the PSAC, right behind Nowak. Not exactly sure where she stands in the entire nation, but she's one of the best lights-out shooters from the arc as well if she gets going.
Both of these teams can get it done multiple ways, and we are set to tip off here in the first semifinal. Nettie Blake uses her height and controls that tip. Sundberg brings it up for Gannon. Trying to get on the board early, gives it to Sebald. Molly Sebald to Jen Papich. Over to Sundberg, back to Papich. Tried to kick it out, but it's going to be tipped, and Gannon will have the ball.
And that one right there was tipped out of bounds. Not exactly sure who was tipping it for Bloomsburg. Molly Sebald, great awareness there not to go after it and have it go off Gannon and give Bloom an early possession.
Sundberg inbounds it to Batts. Goes over to Sebald. Sebald calls it the play. You hear the countdown. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sebald is going to drive inside, loses the handle. 4 seconds, turns, takes the shot. That's good. Molly Sebald gets the Gannon Lady Knights, on the board first.
And a great shot right there by Sebald. She lost control of the ball right as the shot clock was winding down, just threw it up. Happened to go in off the fadeaway turnaround.
It's Nowak with it. She gives it to Simmons. Around to Ford now. Ford pressured, goes back to Simmons. Thought about a 3, now to Ford. Ford inside to Klunk. Klunk kicks it back out to Simmons. Back to Klunk. She shoots a long 2. That is too strong. Nettie Blake tried to go after the rebound, and it went off of a Bloomsburg Husky.
And that was number 25, Adrina Sadowski, who it went off of, battling Nettie Blake for the rebound. Hard to tell up here because we're so high up off the court who it went off of, but Nettie Blake and Sadowski are going to be a key matchup because they're both very tall players.
Papich gives it to Sundberg. Kelly Sundberg to Brittany Batts inside of Nettie Blake. Double team, still gets it to fall, and she draws the foul.
And that's a late foul call right there. Coach Bill Cleary not agreeing with that call. As we'll see here on the replay, Blake going up for the basket, gets the ball to go in, and then we have a foul late as she's already on the floor and the ball is already out of bounds. Foul's going to be on number 33, Marla Simmons. That's her first.
Simmons came in late to help with the coverage down low on Nettie Blake. And Gannon takes the 5-0 lead, 18:41 left to go in the first half.
And Blake on the year, we didn't get to mention, is 67% from the line. She's been improving that lately, though, against California. I believe she only missed one free throw, and here gets it going early with 1 of 1.
Simmons gives it to Sadowski. Now to Ford for 3. That's no good. Rebound bounces around. Sundberg controls it, does a good job of saving from going out.
And that's one of the 2 seniors on this team for Gannon. Great awareness, keep her feet in, reach out for the ball, not run after it, and try and toss it back into a player.
Molly Sebald gives it inside to Papich. Papich kicks it out, works around to Batts. Wide open 3 for Brittany Batts is good, and Gannon leads 8-0, forcing Bloomsburg to call a timeout.
And Bill Cleary right now is just going to have to group his team together, tell them to calm down. It's 8-0 within the first 2 minutes of this game as we look at all the baskets from Gannon. Molly Sebald, first possession, a turnaround fade after she lost control, gets it to roll in, just bounced around the rim a little bit, and then pass from Batts down low to Nettie Blake, who also drew the foul and converted the and 1. That gives her 3 points. And Brittany Batts wide open from Kelly Sundberg. No one was guarding her. Her defender came off. Nowak was running after her at the end. Puts it up, and like we said, 47% from 3. Shooter right there is Coach Jim Brunelli. I'm sure he's absolutely ecstatic the way his team's playing in his first year as head coach, trying to get Gannon back to the finals where they lost to this Bloomsburg team last season.
Head coach for Bloomsburg, Bill Cleary, just trying to calm his team down right now. They can score points. It's only 8-0, but it's still very early. Ford brings it up, gets to Nowak. Nowak double team, throws it inside to Sadowski, and she gets the bucket to fall.
And that was an awkward pass right there. Sadowski almost had it stolen away. Just turned around and put the shot up and actually almost bounced out. Bloomsburg got the lucky break that time to finally get on the board.
Sebald gives it to Sundberg, and she backs out now, calls out the play back to Sebald. Inside now to Sebald. Her shot will not fall. She gets it back, goes to Papich. Papich goes inside, no shot. She gets called for the offensive foul.
And we're going to have to look in the replay on that call, as it looked like it could have been a blocking foul as well as Papich going to the basket. And right there, hard to tell exactly who that is, but her feet were set, so that is an offensive foul. A good call right there by the ref on the floor. Her feet was also outside of the restricted area. My opinion, that's a good offensive foul call.
Nowak with possession. She's guarded by Papich. Goes inside. There's going to be a foul on Molly Sebald.
And that's Sebald's first, and that's 2 team fouls for Gannon now. 1 team foul for Bloomsburg at this point, and there's a lot of Gannon fans here. They've been booing since that Papich offensive foul call. Still booing that call right there, but Gannon only about maybe 10, 20 minutes away from Edinburgh. A lot of their fans traveling here today, even though their men's team is at East Stroudsburg too.
Nowak with possession. Gives it to Ford. Jocelyn Ford, another dangerous threat for Bloomsburg, gives it to Simmons. Simmons drives inside, gets it blocked by Blake. Bringing it up now is Sebald. Molly Sebald throws it up. Her shot doesn't fall. Simmons gets the rebound.
That's a lucky break for Bloomsburg. They just had to trail off her. Make sure you don't foul her if the basket goes in. Happened to miss, and Simmons got the big rebound.
Ford inside. Her pass picked off, though, by Papich.
Gannon's going to slow it down, and the problem that Bloomsburg is having is they're trying to go inside, but the lanes are completely clogged with Nettie Blake, Jen Papich, and Molly Sebald in there. They're very tall players. The passes aren't reaching over them, and they're just right there to intercept them.
Papich gives it to Sundberg, who calls out the play. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Sundberg. Inside to Papich. Her shot blocked by Sadowski. Gannon will only have 4 seconds on the shot clock.
And Jen Papich, I'm sure she's not used to getting her shots blocked because she's one of the taller players in the PSAC. Sadowski just jumping up, putting her hand there, and tipping it out of bounds.
Quick pass back out to Batts. Batts' shot will not fall. It gets tipped. It's going to be a foul on Nettie Blake.
And that's Blake's first foul, and that's 3 team fouls now for Gannon in the last minute or so. A questionable call there was an over-the-bat call. And now Bloomsburg, if they can keep getting Gannon into foul trouble, they have some chances at the line where they're 77%. Also maybe get some of the key players out of the game as well.
15:56 left to go in the first half. Gannon leads 8-2. It's Ford. She gives it over to Klunk. Now to Simmons. Thought about driving inside, instead pulls up, looks for some help. She found Sadowski. Sadowski tries to drive inside, turns, takes a shot. That's no good. Rebound comes to Blake.
And Blake having to fight through trouble as the Gannon fans are arguing for a call as well. Still not getting it. The Gannon fans are very unhappy so far as Papich makes a jumper.
Papich adds to her total, puts up another 2 points and extends this lead up to 8. You're right, Gannon's fans as well as the whole bench was on their feet wanting a foul there. Nevertheless, they still get the points on the board. Ford gives it to Nowak, trying to drive inside, makes the pass to Sadowski. Sadowski's shot is good. Only the second basket Bloomsburg has hit tonight.
And Trina Sadowski was not even looking when that ball came to her. Nowak went behind the back of her defender, threw it down on the baseline. Sadowski ended up with it and had the turnaround layup go in.
Sundberg with possession now. She gives it to Papich at the foul line. Papich is going to try to work inside, turns, takes a shot. That's no good. Rebound comes to Ford. Nowak with it now. She's trying to drive inside on Papich, kicks it out to Klunk. It's going to be a foul called here.
And that's going to be on Brittany Batts. And with 14:39 left, that's going to bring us to our first media timeout.
And we are going to take a break. Gannon leads 10-4 right here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Welcome back to CTV's coverage of PSAC women's basketball, and there you see the team leaders for Bloomsburg.
Yeah, and Catherine Nowak, already mentioned her a lot through this game, 16 points a game. She's not been a factor yet. Trina Sadowski has all 4 points for Bloomsburg. She averages just under 6 rebounds. And then Jocelyn Ford, 99 assists, 47 steals. Her assist to turnover ratio also very good for her on the offensive end. And looking at Gannon, Nettie Blake, just under 15 points and 8 rebounds a game. One of the best players Gannon has. She'll step up big when Jen Papich graduates this year. Sundberg, the senior, leads the PSAC in assists. And then Papich with the most steals on the team as well.
The Huskies going to have to find a way to hit some buckets here against this Gannon defense who's been superb so far. It's going to be kicked out to Nowak now. Now to Simmons. Simmons pulls up, looks for help. Nowak's trying to get up, and she does. She throws up a shot. That is good. Catherine Nowak gets on the board and pulls within 4.
I guess you can use the football term. When she's not open, she's open because she had a defender right on her. Pass from Simmons went right to her and had the easy layup and bring this game within 4 points.
Sundberg gets it back and calls out a new play. Gives it to Sebald. Now to Papich at the foul line. She's going to take a shot. That gets partially blocked. The Huskies are going to come away with it. Nowak gives it to Ford for 2. That's no good. The rebound bounces around. Gannon's going to get control after the foul.
And that foul's going to be on number 10, Taylor Kaminsky. That is her first. But it's only the second team foul, so they've kind of kept it clean so far. Gannon in foul trouble. They have 14 fouls with 13:45 left.
Bringing it up is Sundberg. She gives it to Papich. Now to Batts. Inside to Blake. Blake throws up a layup. That's no good. Rebound comes down to Bloomsburg as they fight for it. Ford brings it up. Gives it to Simmons. She takes a long 2. That is good. And this is a 2-point game.
They're actually calling that a 3, so Marla Simmons getting on the board for 3 of her first, actually those are her first 3 points. It's a 1-point game now after Bloom started out 8-0.
Blake down low, can't get her shot to fall. Bloomsburg gets the rebound again. It's Simmons. Bloomsburg with a chance to take the lead here. Ford, it's going to be a three by Nowak. That is good, and Bloomsburg takes their first lead of the game, 12-10.
And Catherine Nowak had a defender right on her, but that's why she's the best in the nation. It's a 10-0 run right now, led by their senior PSAC East Athlete of the Season.
Sundberg calls out a new play for Gannon. Gannon's still playing a calm game right now. It's only a 2-point game. Has to pass it quickly inside. Tried to go to Blake. She can't control it. Good defense by Gannon.
And that was Simmons on the tip right there for Bloomsburg as she takes another three.
Three for Simmons. No good. Rebound tips out right to her. Simmons gets it back. Surrounded by 4 players. She kicks it out to Ford. Now it's going to go down low. Masieski's shot will not fall. Rebound rolls around, and it's going to come to Sundberg.
And all these rebounds are being very hard fought for today. And it's very tough to get a rebound without getting some coverage on you as Seaball gets fouled.
Seaball draws the foul from Masieski, and she will go to the line.
And Seaball on the year 77.5% from the free throw line. She came up big in the California game, did not miss a free throw. She is a junior. She will definitely step up next year with some of the seniors off this team from Broadview Heights. And she misses the first.
Does miss the first. Checking into the game will be Morgan Neighbors as well as Jenny Tees. Taking a seat will be Brittany Batts and Nettie Blake, also a player that checked in for Bloomsburg.
And this is when Bloomsburg could possibly take advantage as Seaball hits the second. Nettie Blake out of the game. She's the better defender, in my opinion, than Jen Popich because she has bigger size and longer arms. You can take advantage with her on the bench, get some of your players down low involved.
I believe it was Sadowski that checked in for Gannon, or excuse me, the Bloomsburg, and Nowak hits another three to extend this lead up to 4.
And Catherine Nowak now has 8 points in this game. We're not even halfway through the first half. She averages 16 per game on the year. She's already halfway to that total as well.
Inside 2 Tees, Jenny Tees double team. She's going to get called for the travel. Not too happy about that one. It's another turnover. And with that, we've reached our second media timeout. We're going to take a break. Stay here for the rest of the action right here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of PSAC women's basketball, and there you take a look at the stats rankings. Both of them pretty good.
Yeah, near the top. Neither of these teams are outside the top 4 in any of these stats. Gannon 4th in scoring, Bloom 3rd in scoring. 3rd in scoring defense, exactly the same in both of these teams. And 1st and 2nd, I believe, rebounds per game or steals per game. Didn't able to catch that as we get back to live action.
It's Ford with possession. She's guarded heavily. Gives it to Simmons. Simmons makes pass over to Nowak. She's guarded by Papich. Nowak tries to go inside Tees with the steal. But she gets called for the travel and gives it right back to Bloomsburg.
And that's a good call right there as Tees had it, picked up her dribble, and then fell down. You'll see right here, it takes a couple steps before she falls down and gives Bloom the ball right back with 11:15 left.
Bloomsburg leading by 4. Kaminsky gives it to Nowak. She steps out, still double team, now goes inside to Ford. Ford, her pass gets picked off, but it gets recontrolled by Bloomsburg. Inside to Sadowski, her shot will not fall. Gannon gets the rebound. Papich Gives it over to Sundberg. Kelly Sundberg looking for help. Finds Neighbors. Morgan Neighbors keeps control, gives it to Sundberg. 13 seconds on the shot clock. To Tees. Jenny Tees tried to go to Papich, it gets stolen away by Ford.
Gannon right now, they're playing a little bit tight, not so loose as they were in the beginning of the game as they find themselves down by 4 points. It's been a 15-3 run since.
Sadowski's shot will not fall. The rebound goes to Sebald. Sebald brings it up. She's been bringing it up a little bit more than Sundberg at this point. Inside to Tees, wide open. She draws the foul. The foul's going to go against Nowak.
That's Nowak's first. And we're going to see Nettie Blake coming into the game, I believe, for Tees. If Tees happens to make the second free throw, she will be able to check in. We're also going to get a substitution for Bloomsburg in just a second. Cannot tell who that is as they are kind of shrugged over on the baseline.
Tees hits her first. Checking into the game for Bloomsburg is number 42, Erica Masieski, as Sadowski's going to take a seat. And Tees will be coming out if she hits this shot for Blake. Tees, second shot is good. She's going to take a seat. And Nettie Blake will come in. The lead now just 2 points for Edinburgh. Or excuse me, for Bloomsburg.
And it's hard because we're at the home of Edinburgh. And in the home white jerseys, we would think it's Edinburgh because Gannon and Edinburgh play a lot in the year. But Bloomsburg up by 2. They're still going on a long run right now, 15-5 since it was 8-0.
Simmons steps inside. That shot does not fall. Nowak drives in, tries to go to Masieski. It's going to go out of bounds, though, off of Gannon. Bloomsburg will have 10 seconds to work with on the shot clock.
And they only have 10 seconds to work with because the first shot from Simmons did not hit rim. And Masieski ended up coming down with it. And now that ball goes out of bounds off Masieski. And Blake right there on the defense over in the corner.
Great job by Nettie Blake there. Gannon gets possession, still down by 2 to the Huskies. Sundberg brings it up. Gives it to Blake. Over to Papich. Now Papich is trying to drive inside. She does. Pulls up, takes a shot. That's no good. Masieski gets control. Nowak brings it up. Gives it to Kaminsky. Over to Ford. She drives inside. She throws up a shot. That's no good. Blake gets it.
Now, not a lot of foul calls anymore as this game is there a lot in a certain amount of time. The refs are letting these players play, though, in the Final Four. I agree with that. Just let the players play. If there's anything out there you believe is definitely a foul, then call it. But right now, this game is getting a little rugged, trying to fight for the rebounds and going straight to the basket.
9:05 left in the first half. Bloomsburg Huskies lead by 2. Neighbors with possession. She kicks it over, but that's been picked up by Kaminsky, who could not keep it in bounds as it was a kickball.
And there's 2 seconds on the shot clock as we have a slew of substitutions. We're going to have Ford and Kaminsky check out. We're going to have Dudek and I believe Klunk check back into the game for Bloomsburg.
Pass quickly, long shot by Sebald. No good, it did hit the backboard, so the shot clock does reset. It doesn't matter, the Huskies get it.
And Blake had the rebound, but from right behind, Catherine Nowak able to tip it out and give Klunk the rebound.
Klunk kicks it out. Dudek does not get her shot off. Now she gets it back. Nowak to Dudek. Over to Simmons now. She drives inside, tries to go to Masieski. That gets picked off. That one gets picked off as well by Dudek, and she's going to bring it up. Over to Simmons. Simmons pulls up with some, kicks it out to Nowak. Wide open 3. That's no good. Rebound comes down to Gannon.
And right now, this game is slowly turning into what we saw Gannon in California. Turnovers on either end, not being able to make a lot of shots as we're about to approach our next media timeout opportunity with 8 minutes left in the first half. Next stoppage will be the media, but both these teams, they could just hit shots, calm the pace down. They might find a lot more success.
Sebald maintains control. Gets kicked out now to Neighbors. Over to Papich. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it to Blake. Blake throws up a shot. That is good. Nettie Blake gets on the board and ties this game at 15.
And Blake has 5 points in the game now. We're all tied at 15. And Gannon and Bloomsburg's defense both very good this season, and we can see exactly why. It forced a lot of turnovers so far.
Plunk gives it to Masieski. Guarded by Blake, she still drives inside. It's going to be a kick ball against Gannon. And with that, we've reached another media timeout, tied at 15. Stay tuned for the rest of the action right here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Welcome back to CTV's coverage of PSAC women's basketball, and taking a look now at the regional rankings. And at this point in the year, this is really what matters.
Yeah, you don't really care. You want to win your conference tournament, of course. Shaw, we can already see, is in to the regional rankings no matter what, because they won the CIAA tournament. The Mountain East, the key fact, they do not get an automatic bid because they are a new conference. They will not this year or next year. So Gannon, Glenville, maybe Edinburgh or Bloom, it's going to come to those four teams who gets the home court advantage in the Atlantic Regional during the NCAA tournament. Gannon, if they can come away with a couple more wins this year, they might get it. Glenville playing today as well in the Mountain East Conference tournament.
7:20 left to go. The game tied at 15 in the first half. Ford takes a jumper. That doesn't hit anything and goes out of bounds, so Gannon will get possession.
And right now, both these teams are having trouble hitting shots. The field goals made to attempted for Bloomsburg, 6 of 20 for Gannon, 5 of 15. So both of these teams, if they can find the baskets and start hitting them, they might be out to a big lead.
Pass inside to Blake, but she's going to get called for the travel after the little stutter step there.
Look on the replay. Blake gets the pass, and she did stop and then kind of hop her feet a little bit. And Tuesday night when Gannon played California, we were there for that game. A lot of travel calls in that one as well.
Plunk drives inside, throws up a shot. That's no good. Blake almost had the rebound. It's going to bounce to Papich.
And Clunk almost got the offensive rebound as well as Bats takes the three.
Three for Brittany Bats will not fall. The rebound gets controlled by Dudek, but it goes out of bounds off of her.
And back to what I was saying, both these teams are fighting hard for the rebounds, and that's something I'm sure Coach Bill Cleary and Mark Brunelli are liking, because it shows that this team is not going to give up. They're going to hustle for every rebound, try and get a lot of second chances. Right now, not a lot of offensive rebounds, though. Both sides going to the other team and getting them more possessions.
Sundberg gives it to Bats. Brittany Bats to Sebald now. Molly Sebald pressure, trying to work inside. There's going to be a foul against number 24, Morgan Clunk.
That's going to be Clunk's first. It's going to be the 5th team foul for Bloomsburg with 6:22 left. So Bloomsburg, in relative sense, has one more foul to get before they're in any serious trouble of the bonus for Gannon.
Molly Sebald with possession. Has Papich open, hangs onto it instead. Looking for the play to set, gives it to Sundberg. Sundberg to Blake. Blake lost control, gets it back. Gives it to Sebald now. Sebald calls out a play. 10 seconds on the shot clock. To Bats. To Sebald. 5 seconds. Sebald drives inside, loses control. Blake gets it, but only 1 second on the shot clock. It's going to be a jump ball. And then a shot clock violation as possession favored Gannon. So the Huskies will get control.
Yeah, hard to tell there exactly what the refs were calling because the shot clock went off as both players were fighting for it. Looks like they were going with the jump ball. It goes to Bloomsburg anyways. But if that jump ball had gone to Gannon, we might have seen a little bit of an argument from Bill Cleary because the shot clock went off during that little scrum.
Nowak gets possession, gives it to Kaminsky. She's at the top of the key looking for some help, finds Dudek. Back to Nowak. To Dudek. She looks to drive inside, pulls up, throws it back. That shot by Sadowski is good.
And Trina Sadowski has 6 of 17 points for Bloomsburg today. She just re-entered the game, gets a shot to fall there.
Sundberg, great job to save that, but she throws it back out of bounds. So Bloomsburg will have possession with 5:15 left, trying to add to this lead as Jenny Tees is going to check into the game.
And Nettie Blake is back on the bench, and before, when Nettie Blake was out off of the court, Bloomsburg didn't take advantage of that. They did not score a lot of baskets, and you have to give credit to Jenny Tees for stepping up defensively when she was out there before. Also scored a couple points.
Ball bounces to Kaminsky, now to Nowak. Gets kicked out to Ford. Bloomsburg slows it down. Sadowski with it. To Dudek. Dudek trying to drive inside, then kicks it out to Ford. They wanted to travel. Ford's three will not fall. Bounces out, that did not hit rim. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Dudek, 3 seconds, gives it to Novak. She drives inside, that's no good. Nowak's shot doesn't get off before the shot clock. So Gannon will have possession.
And Coach Brunelli for Gannon was almost halfway out to the court, arguing that Nowak's shot did not get off, and I agree, there was a shot clock violation there. Also, probably should have been a travel call early in the possession before Ford got the rebound, although it did not hit rim, as we have a foul now on Nowak. That is going to be her second.
Is Nowak's second, and Simmons is going to check into the game for Nowak. She's going to take a seat on the bench with 2 fouls, and now we're going to have another player check in. Jen Papich is going to check out. It is Brianna Brennan, and I think you're going to see a lot of Papich on Nowak, as every time Nowak's gotten that ball, Jen Papich has been right there, so they're giving Papich a breather right now.
She's one of the better defenders on this Gannon team, leads the team in steals, and putting them against the opposition's best players. A very smart move from Coach Brunelli.
Bats with control. She gives it to Brennan up top. Over to Birchtold. To Brennan. Back to Birchtold. She's trying to drive inside, pulls up. Looking for help. Goes to Sundberg. Sundberg drives inside. 8 seconds. She loses control. It goes off of Bloomsburg.
And hard to tell here. At first I thought it should have been Bloomsburg ball. We'll look on the replay because it looked like it just slid out of the hand. Oh no, it did get tipped right there by Ford. As you can see on the replay, Ford reached around, just happened to tip it out of bounds.
Great call by the official there. Tees gets a shot off. That one off all. The rebound falls to Simmons. Quick pass up to Sadowski. She cannot control it, and Gannon gets the ball right back. As we've reached our final media timeout, Bloomsburg leads 17-15.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back in. Before the game, the women's champion scholar, was handed out, and it is Nicole Southcott, the sophomore, on this Bloomsburg team with a 3.980 GPA. So congratulations to her, as she was honored, as we said before the game, as the champion scholar of women's basketball.
Yeah, and it's something that really goes unnoticed. I was watching the game Friday Night Lights, or the movie Friday Night Lights last night. A lot of fans were saying give up the learning. The learning's a lot more important. That's why they're called student athletes. The student has to come first before you can get on the court and play.
Back to action here. Bloomsburg leads by 1. The pass inside by Birchfield gets picked off, and Ford brings it up. Trying another quick pass. Dudak now to Kaminsky. Her shot no good. Tees tips the ball out of bounds and tips the ball and races before it goes out of bounds. Gannon smartly calls the timeout there as Tees was stuck in the corner surrounded by 2 Huskies.
And that timeout call came in a little late before Tees. She was trying to go out of bounds and throw it off a Bloomsburg player, give them the ball. Coach Brunelli being smart and calling the timeout. As we look right here at some of the highlights, this is Simmons. This was a 3 from her. Her only 3 points of the game, averaging 6 per contest this year. And then Catherine Nowak, 8 points so far in this game. She's been matched up a lot against Jen Papich tonight. That's why her offensive production not so much. And then Nowak, another 3. She has 2 of them today. She's missed a couple as well, though. Nowak still on the bench, though, with those 2 fouls. And that's going to be something key to watch. With 3.5 minutes left in the first half, I'm sure we'll see her a lot in the second half, though, as your best player if you're Bloomsburg.
Brittany Batts with possession now. She gives it to Tees, to Sundberg. Now to Neighbors. Morgan Neighbors draws the foul. It will go against Kaminsky, and it will be a 1-and-1.
Neighbors from the charity stripe this year, 81%, so she's one of the better free throw shooters on this Gannon Lady Knights team. For Kaminsky, that is 2 personal fouls now, so she has to watch her foul trouble. We still have a lot of time left in the first half.
Morgan Neighbors at the line with a chance to tie it. She hits the first, pulls within 1. 17-16 the score right now.
And Neighbors is one of those complementary players to the Gannon system. We're going to see Jen Papich check back into the game in a moment.
Second shot good as well, and Papich, as you said, will check in for Brennan.
Papich, she does not sit a lot in games, if at all. I'm sure we might see her play the rest of the game because the halftime break coming up. That could be her big rest from here on out.
Game tied at 17. The shot no good for Bloomsburg. Gannon comes away with it.
Masieski right now has not hit a shot yet so far today. She's had a lot of open looks. She's not able to bury the ball in the basket.
Batts goes to Sundberg. Kelly Sundberg still with possession. Trying to draw something up. She drives inside. Papich goes after the rebound. It goes out of bounds off of Bloomsburg.
And Papich is going for the rebound. And we'll see here on the replay. That's Masieski tipped it out of bounds as Papich is going for it. Just reached in between her hands and happened to give Gannon the ball back with a fresh shot clock.
Neighbors gives it to Batts. To Sundberg. Kelly Sundberg pulls it back out. She's going to try and set something up here. She gets pressured by Ford inside to Batts. Brittany Batts tries to throw up a shot. It comes to Papich, now over to Neighbors. Neighbors couldn't control it right away, and she's going to get called for the double dribble.
And Neighbors had an open look for a 3. We'll see right here the pass to her. If she can control this, that's an open look for a 3. She probably would have taken the shot. Gets called for the double dribble, though, as she bobbled the ball from Papich. It gives Bloomsburg another possession. A lot of turnovers so far in this game with 2:23 left in the first half.
Pass inside will not work. Papich, I believe, is going to get called for the behind-the-back foul.
And that is Papich. That is her second. She does not get into a lot of foul trouble on the year, as we see right there. Very questionable call. Didn't look like she moved a lot and forced a lot of contact. We're going to see Papich check out for Brianna Brennan, and then Nettie Blake come in for Jenny Tees.
So Tees and Papich go to the bench. Nettie Blake does check back in, as does Brennan. Brennan only a freshman.
And it looks like this foul might be on Brennan, and it is. That is going to be her first as she just checks back in. That's the 6th team foul now for Gannon. One more sends Bloomsburg to the line.
2:19 to go in the first half. Game tied at 17. Simmons gives it to Ford. Dudak now over to Kaminsky. Around to Masieski. Dudak gives it to Simmons. Back to Dudak. She is a wide open 3. That's no good. Too strong. Gets her own rebound. Throws it back up. That's no good. And Blake comes down with that rebound and draws the foul.
We'll see the foul's going to be on. It might be on Dudek. She was down there swiping away. It also could be on number 3, Jocelyn Ford. But it also is going to be on Dudek. That is her first. Going to send Nettie Blake to the line. And Blake, like we said, 67% from the line on the year. So, but she's really improved her foul shooting a lot throughout the past games that we have seen her.
Blake trying to give the Lady Knights the lead. Hits her first. 2:01 left to go.
And Blake has 6 points now in the game, so she's approaching that double figures expectation that she has of herself, I'm sure, and the coaches as well. She was only held to 8 points the last time she played Bloomsburg.
Blake hits the second as well, and Gannon takes the 2-point lead. Bringing it up is Plunk. Morgan Plunk gives it to Ford.
You can hear all the Gannon fans cheering defense. There's a lot of them here today cheering on the Lady Knights.
Dudek drives inside. Her shot hits nothing. She gets it back, gives it to Ford. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ford turns, takes a jumper. That's no good. Rebound comes to Sundberg. She gets pressure, does a great job passing out of the double team to Seaball.
And Bloomsburg is having a really tough time trying to find a shot to go in. It was 17-15 with 8 minutes left, I believe, and now it's 19-17 Gannon with 1:20 to go.
Seabald throws up the shot. That is good as Bloomsburg was trying to draw the foul.
And Seabald kind of threw the shoulder there. No foul call. It looks like the defender was still moving her feet, though.
Dudek gets the pass, gives it back to Masieski, to Simmons. Kicked out Plunk for 3. That hits nothing, and Gannon gets possession right back.
And Bloomsburg has absolutely gone cold from the floor. They are 7 of 30 in the game, and this is not the way to beat Gannon's feisty defense. They hold you to under 60 points on the year for a reason. You have to hit the shots, even if they're being contested. With Catherine Nowak on the bench, that's clearly hurting the Huskies.
50 seconds left in the half. Gannon leads by 4. Seabald maintains possession. She's looking for some help, finds Brennan. Brennan tries to drive inside, tried to go to Blake. Blake gets tangled up, and the ball's going to go out of bounds off of her.
And there is 35.8 seconds left, 30 on the shot clock. So Gannon, presumably thinking that Bloomsburg runs it down, will get possession back. We're going to see Kaminsky come back into the game for Dudek.
Kaminsky is going to bring the ball up. 30 seconds. Simmons gets double teamed, looks for help, kicks it out to Kaminsky. Thought about a 3, instead gives it to Ford. Ford steps inside, takes a jumper. That is no good. Gannon gets the rebound.
And they can hold her for final possession with 16 seconds left.
Sundberg brings it up. She gives it. Brennan. That's good for 3. Gannon extends their lead to 5.
And the clock is still running, so Bloomsburg has to hurry.
1 second left to 3. No good for Ford, and Gannon is going to go to the locker room with a 24-17 lead.
And right now the Gannon fans are absolutely standing on their feet cheering on this team. It was 17-15 for such a long time. It's a 9-0 run now. Gannon starting to hit their shots and pull away from Bloomsburg. They need to change things in a hurry.
When we come back, we'll take a look at some highlights from the first half. Stay here for the PSAC Finals on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of the PSAC Women's Basketball Championships. We are at halftime now with the first semifinal game from Macomb Fieldhouse on the campus of Edinboro University, and Gannon has taken a 24-17 lead. And now we're going to take a look at some of the highlights of the first half.
Yeah, and you can't say there weren't a lot of highlights, but usually we take a look at some of the baskets. This was the first of the game, but throughout this game it's been a lot of turnovers, fights for rebounds, some fouls as well. The first half was mired with a lot of defensive play as Nandy Blake gets the basket to roll in there until late in the first half, excuse me. That's when Gannon started going on a run. That's her only 3 points of the game. She hits a three there. She's shooting 48% from three-point land this season. And Sadowski, she has 6 of the 17 Bloomsburg points. Catherine Nowak has 8 of the 17 points. The other 3 coming from Marla Simmons as Papic gets her shot to go, and she has 2 points in the game. And Adrina Sadowski, again, we see her right there. No look pass from Nowak. Sadowski didn't even see the ball coming to her. She still put the shot up. Then we see right here Nowak going right to the basket, putting it in. And then Simmons getting her three-pointer that she made it in this game to fall in. She's only shooting 23% from three-point land this season, though, so a surprising make there. And Catherine Nowak, she has 2 threes in the game so far. That's 1 there. And then I'm sure we'll see it right here on the other side, in the other corner, from the corner pocket, I guess you could say, hits the other big 3 in this game. That was when Bloomsburg was going on their big run. But since then, Gannon has really put up a lot of points. They were up 8-0, then down 15-11. Now find themselves up 24-17. And right now it's all because Bloomsburg hasn't been able to hit the shots. Gannon is starting to get a hot streak on offense, getting the easy shots like that one you see from Molly Sebald. And the defense forcing a lot of turnovers. Bloomsburg has actually forced more turnovers. They forced 12 Gannon turnovers. Gannon only forced 6, but Gannon's getting a lot of big rebounds, getting the ball to roll their way. If it goes out of bounds, the jump ball calls, that's really helping their cause so far.
And as we said, this is just one of the semifinals. We looked at the regional rankings earlier, but there are other tournaments going on as well. Right now we're going to take a look at the women's bracket of the PSAC so we can talk about the second semifinal that will go on later today. There you go. It's going to be between Edinboro and Westchester. In
Edinboro, I'm sure they're feeling a lot of pressure there. The home team have hosting rights at Macomb Fieldhouse. I'm sure they're going to want to see a lot of fans out here. I'm sure they're going to want to give their fans a great show and show why they're the #1 team in the West. They beat Gannon twice this year, and Gannon's still ranked higher than them in the overall rankings based on the USA Today and in the Atlantic regional rankings. Edinboro does have a few more losses than Gannon does, but beating a team twice, you might have a little fire there to try and get above them against a very tough Westchester team who, realistically, they might need to win the PSAC tournament to get into the NCAA Atlantic region. Unless some things fall their way, they could possibly get in with a win and a loss in the finals, but the best way to assure yourself getting in is winning your conference.
It is, and not only is the women's tournament going on, that's going on in Edinboro, but you also have the men's tournament going on in East Stroudsburg.
In East Stroudsburg, kind of getting a break, in my opinion, having to play Mercyhurst, not IEP. East Stroudsburg and IEP, that would have been a very big matchup because East Stroudsburg can shoot lights out. And in the men's East side of the conference, it's a lot about putting up points. In the West, it's about playing tough, gritty defense, making sure you don't score a lot. And the other game is Gannon versus Westchester. Gannon coming away with a double overtime victory over Slippery Rock. Slippery Rock looking to get revenge again for losing twice in the regular season. They won in overtime the year before in the quarters. Westchester trying to make it to the finals. They won it a couple years ago on a Miracle 3. I remember that, and trying to claim another conference title.
And when we come back, we will have other brackets from around the region next in our halftime show of the PSAC semifinals.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of the PSAC women's basketball semifinals, and now we're going to take a look at the Mountain East standings.
And we look right here at the Mountain East Conference Women's Tournament, where you see West Liberty and Charleston already can finish their game. University of Charleston, a big win over West Liberty, 76-49. That's definitely going to help Charleston's regional ranking, as West Liberty was 7th in the rankings, but with a big loss like that, 27 points, you might see yourself fall out. With so many teams in the Mountain East trying to get into the rankings. The other game that's going to go on, Glenville State, West Virginia State. Glenville fighting for the #1 seed in the Atlantic region against this Gannon team. If both of them lose, it opens it up for everyone else behind them, but if both these teams wins, it's going to come down to the conference final game for both the tournaments.
Yes, it will, and there was one more conference in the region. That tournament already complete, the CIAA conference. And you see there, Shaw is your winner.
And Shaw, this is, I believe, the 4th straight CIAA conference tournament they've won. They came out with a big win over Fayetteville State after defeating Virginia State, who was 5 in the regional rankings. Shaw is now 6th. They're the only team right now guaranteed to get into the NCAA tournament. They will likely be the 6, 5, 7 seed. But we've seen they've won the Atlantic region as an 8 seed before, so anything can happen in the Atlantic region, especially with a veteran team like Shaw.
Speaking of regional rankings, we're going to take a look at those now. The regional rankings for the Atlantic region. We talked about automatic qualifiers. Shaw is the automatic qualifier for the CIAA, as we talked about. They're the only team right now that is for sure in.
And you see a few PSAC teams up in the top 4, Gannon, Edinburgh, and Bloomsburg, all of them here this weekend trying to claim a conference title. Glenville State sandwiched in between Edinburgh and Gannon. And then 7 to 10, the only one that's not a Mountain East school is Fayetteville State, and they're going to have some hopes and prayers to get in because they don't have any more games left. West Liberty, they just lost. We said that Fairmont State lost in the quarterfinals of their tournament. Charleston looks like they might be the team to sneak up into the 7th or 8th spot. They might have sealed the deal getting a seed today with a big victory over West Liberty, because a lot of those teams in front of them have lost. Fayetteville State, things keep going this way, they might find themselves sneaking in as well.
And those are the regional rankings, but the Atlantic Regional very well represented in the USA Today coaches poll, as you have 5 teams from the Atlantic region represented there.
And Gannon being the highest at number 3 in the entire nation, trailing Harding and Bentley. Glenville State at 9. Then you also have Virginia State and Bloom 13 and 14 back-to-back. Edinburgh right down at the bottom at 25. I'm sure they're happy about being in the top 25, but they're kind of shocked a little bit because they've beat the number 3 team in the nation twice this year, and they've had a couple bad losses on their schedule, but when you beat that team twice, one home and one away, it's a big deal trying to get yourself higher up.
Now we're going to take a look at the all PSAC teams that were announced earlier this week, as we're going to start with the Eastern Division teams first. You take a look at the first and second teams there.
You have Dallas Ely, Stephanie Nauser, Jessica Martin, Catherine Nowak, Brittany Szynski, and Sarah Strubeck for the East team. A couple schools in there representing each of the players. And then the second team, Kendall Benavy, Advia Campbell, Jocelyn Ford, Carly Gallagher, Marissa Moyer, and Celeste Robinson. And then for the West, you have Nettie Blake, Deasia Chambers, Anya Freeland from Edinburgh, Hannah Heater, Valerie Majeski, the player of the year in the West, Jen Poppich and Lindsay Stamp tying for the last spot. And then Paige Alviani, Katie Gattuso, both from Seton Hill, Darche Jackson and Laurel Lindsay, both from Edinburgh, and Kelly Sundberg from Gannon. So it's really a mix of 3 or 4 teams in the top players in the West.
Now we talked about these are your PSAC all first teams. We talked about the athlete of the year, as you said, Majeski, freshman of the year from California, Mickey Glenn. Defensive, this is the West of the year, Darce Jackson, as well as coach of the year, Stan Swank. So these final 4 teams well represented in that as we take a look at the East side as well.
We're actually not going to take a look into the East, but Stan Swank has 2 straight Coach of the Year awards. Mickey Glenn, a dynamic freshman for California. As we're going to head to another break before we come back for the second half.
And with that, we will take a break. We will get you set for the second half coming up next.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of the PSAC Championships, the semifinal between the Huskies of Bloomsburg and the Lady Knights of Gannon. Taking a look now at the halftime stats for these 2 teams, you see pretty even.
Yeah, pretty even. Gannon has the advantage on the scoreboard, but Bloomsburg has forced more turnovers. They have more steals. They haven't gone to the free throw line, though. That's really what's hurting them because they're a 77% team from the charity stripe. They need to get more opportunities at the line. Gannon, 8 of 9. That's why they're getting a lot of their points. In Bloomsburg, they just need to make more shots, and they'll be in this game. Missing 25 in the first half. Not a very good mark going into halftime.
Now we're going to take a look at our players of the half. For Bloomsburg, it's Catherine Nowak.
And Catherine Nowak has to be the obvious choice. She has 8 points. 2 3-pointers as well. You see the layup there. Add to her total. She also has 2 3-pointers, 1 from each corner on the side of the court they were running towards. And 8 of the 17 points, only 3 players have scored for Bloomsburg so far. And Nowak leading the way with 8 of those points. And she's going to start the second half after sitting out a lot of time in the first half because of foul trouble.
Taking a look now at Nettie Blake. She's been very strong for Gannon.
Nettie Blake, she has 7 points. She was held to 8 the last time these 2 teams played, trying to make her way to the double figures once again. So we're about to get back to live action, and Bloomsburg going to start with the ball. We have about 5 seconds to go until the second half starts.
Both these teams anxious to start the second half. Gannon with the 24-17 lead. Bloomsburg will start with the ball. Plunk gets the inbound. She brings it up, looks for some help, goes to Sadowski, back to Plunk, trying to find somebody open. Instead, she's going to drive inside Sadowski. Her shot good. Bloomsburg gets on the board first.
Sadowski, one of the 3 players to score for Bloomsburg. She has 8 points in the game now to match Nowak as the leading scorer.
Batts gets control, gets it to Sebald. Now to Sundberg, who has not sat out at any point in this game. Papich kicks it over, goes to Sebald now. Sebald's 3, no good. Ball gets tipped out of bounds by Nettie Blake. Bloomsburg will have possession.
And you mentioned Kelly Sundberg not taking a seat at all as we see Blake tip it out of bounds right as our camera person. But Sundberg, that one of the 2 seniors on his team, she facilitates a lot of the plays as Simmons takes a shot.
Simmons 2, no good. Rebound comes to Papich. Papich brings it up, gives it over to Seaball. Now to Blake. Kick it out, gets worked around now. A 3 by Batts is good. Brittany Batts gets Gannon on the board and extends the lead again.
And Brittany Batts has taken 2 3-pointers. She's made both of them. She has 6 points now to gain to extend the lead to 8 points.
Simmons slows down the pace for the Huskies, gives it to Klunk. Sadowski tried to make a bounce pass. It gets picked off by Seaball. Sundberg brings it up once again. Kelly Sundberg pulls it back out and sets the play. Goes to Seaball. Back to Sundberg. Sundberg kicks it over to Batts. Now over to Seaball. She drives inside, throws up a shot. No good, but it's going to be an offensive foul anyway.
That's Seaball's second of the game. Going to give Bloomsburg possession back. It's also a turnover as Nowak took the charge right there, set her feet right outside the restricted area. Good call right there on the court.
Morgan Klunk brings it up. Klunk goes to Simmons. Bounce pass to Ford. Ford drives inside, no shot. It's going to be an offensive foul once again.
We're going to see what this one's on because I kind of took my eye off a little bit as Ford goes to the basket. Looks like it might be on Ford. And it is hers. It is her first as she took down Nettie Blake. Nettie Blake doing a good job drawing the charge just like Nowak did on the other side.
Sundberg brings it up. Gives it to Batts, to Blake. Back over to Sundberg. Now over to Batts. Brittany Batts gets her shot blocked by Ford. Gannon will still have possession.
And the Gannon fans are wanting a foul there, but the ball was already blocked. I agree that there should be no foul there. Batts trying to go for another 3. Ford a lot taller than her, just throwing her hand up and tipping it down.
Sundberg kicks it out to Seaball. Over to Batts. Batts has her pass picked off by Nowak, and Nowak's going to draw the foul.
And it's going to go on Molly Seabald, I believe. That's going to be her third as she tripped up Nowak. We'll see here on the replay, Batts trying to go to Seabald, and Nowak just runs right in front of it. Actually looks like Batts might have curved the ball a little bit, trying to go to Seabald. And it's going to be on Seabald. That is her third, and she will check out.
Morgan Neighbors checks in. Simmons to Nowak. Back to Ford now. Ford sets, looks for some help. Pass gets picked off.
Sundberg got her hand in there to tip it away as Sadowski was trying to go find Ford.
Brittany Batts, long 3, no good. Rebound comes out to Nowak.
And Batts, after starting 2 for 2 on 3s, has missed her last 2. And we're going to get a travel on Simmons right there. Also might have been an offensive foul as well as Sundberg took the charge there.
Checking into the game as you see the replay here. Batts, good job getting out defensively, and Simmons just kind of stutter stepped. Checking into the game, Masieski for Bloomsburg.
And Sadowski was the one to check out. She has 8 of the team's 19 points. You might miss a lot offensively if you're Bloomsburg with her on the bench.
Sundberg gives it to Batts. Now over to Papich. Papich pulls up, looks for help, kicks it out to Sundberg. She drives inside, and she's going to draw the foul.
That one's going to go on Masieski. That is going to be her second. And she puts up the shot. And actually going to call the foul on Simmons. That's going to be her second, not on Masieski, as Gannon gets a fresh shot clock.
Gannon trying to take advantage of it, have a 27-19 lead. 16:41 left to go. Kick out to Batts. Batts for 3. That's good. Brittany Batts hits a 3.
That's 9 now for the junior from Leesburg, Virginia. One of the best 3-point shooters in the PSAC. Covering Calgary, we see her a lot. It seems like a lot of the time she does not miss.
Masieski kicks it over to Nowak. Guarded by Papich, back to Masieski. Kick out now to Simmons. Masieski trying to drive inside on Blake. 5 seconds. three here by Ford, no good. Rebound comes to Papich.
And all the Bloomsburg players were playing out on the arc as that one's tipped there, but none of the players were there to get the rebound. There was one down there, and she was being boxed out heavily by four Gannon players down low. Gannon's playing for the rebound. Bloomsburg's playing for the shot.
Blake kicks it over. Drive inside by Sundberg. She's going to draw the foul. Gannon will have a fresh shot clock, and that is the third team foul.
That's going to be our media timeout, 15:42 left.
And with that, we are going to take a break. Gannon leads 30-19 over the Huskies.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of PSAC women's basketball. And there you see the 2014 Women's Elite Eight will be hosted by Gannon University from March 25th through the 28th.
It's going to be in the Erie Insurance Arena, and I know Gannon and Edinburgh, they're two Erie-based teams. I'm sure they're going to want to get to the Elite Eight and have a lot of fans there, have some home court advantage kind of, technically, if you want to call it that, with a lot of fans cheering them on if they can make it that far in the Atlantic region.
Back to action here. Bloomsburg could not control it. Papich gets it back.
That was Kaminsky trying to tip it and then not able to control it, throwing it right back to Papich.
Sundberg with possession, looking for some help. She finds Neighbors. Neighbors over to Batts. Back to Neighbors. 10 seconds on the shot clock. To Sundberg. Kick it over to Batts. She waited for the three. Now will take one. Great play by Brittany Batts.
Brittany Batts, a great head fake there. She looked like she was going to put on the shot. Saw the defender running right at her. Stepped over with the dribble and put in a nice three-pointer. She's hit a lot of those today. She has 12 points off 4 threes.
With 15 minutes to go, Gannon starting to pull away. That ball goes out of bounds off of Nettie Blake. The score now 33-19.
And Bloomsburg has scored 2 points in this half, just over 5 minutes in. Gannon has really started to pull away with that momentum they gained in the first half. As the ball goes out of bounds on the inbound, Nowak not able to control it. He gives Gannon possession right back.
Gannon has come out strong out of halftime. Bloomsburg needs to regroup. Sundberg brings it up. Gives it to Neighbors. Now over to Sundberg. Kicks it down low to Papich. Papich back out to Sundberg. She's going to shoot a three. That one is no good. Blake gets the rebound, gets it stripped by Masieski.
And no foul called there as Nettie Blake went down to the ground. Masieski able to tip the ball away for a rebound.
Kaminsky drives inside and draws the foul against Brittany Batts.
And that is Batts' second of the game. That is team foul number 3 for Gannon with 14:24 left. And Kaminsky going to go to the line where she is shooting 59% on the year.
Need to hit these shots to try to get back into it. Kaminsky hits the first. Still a 13-point lead for the Lady Knights. 14:24 left to go. Makes the second as well. Bloomsburg, this is the first time they went to the line. They went 2 for 2 and took advantage of it.
Marla Simmons coming in for Jocelyn Ford. And Allison, besides being their first 2 free throw shots, that's only the 4th Husky to score in this game as they just eclipsed the 20-point mark.
33-21 the score. Pass inside to Blake. Nowak went hard after it, but carried the ball out of bounds.
Nowak, we'll see the replay right here coming out of nowhere, read the eyes of Morgan Neighbors, tried to intercept it, tried to throw it back in, but she was already out of bounds as she was throwing it back in. Still Gannon ball.
Bats inbounds, and it's going to be stolen away by Kaminsky. Dudak brings it up, gives it to Nowak. She draws the foul.
And that foul is going to be on Morgan Neighbors. As we'll see right here, Neighbors not able to set her feet in enough time. As Nowak going to go to the line where she's 90% just about on the year.
That was a good foul by Neighbors not to give Nowak the easy layup. Nowak makes her first. An 11-point game now, 14:06 left to go.
And this is where Bloomsburg, like we said, no first half free throw shots. As Nowak makes the second, gets to double figures with 10 points now. If they can hit these charity stripe opportunities though, get the free points, as we have a travel on Morgan Neighbors now, as we can see the momentum starting to tilt over to Bloomsburg.
Neighbors is going to go to the bench. Sebald will check in. Bloomsburg starting to have the pendulum swing their way a little bit. Still down by 10, but a couple of threes and they're back in this game.
And the free throw shots, I continue what I was saying before, they can get to the line, hit their shots. That's the best way to come back because they're free opportunities unguarded by the very feisty Gannon defense.
Simmons drives, gives it to Dudek. Back over to Simmons. She's trying to step inside, takes a shot from the foul line. That's good. Simmons gets on the board, and now it's a single-digit lead for Gannon.
That's 5 points for Simmons now, as Bloomsburg might start to find their stride right now. Nowak on the floor makes the difference. We saw when Gannon made their run, Nowak was on the bench. Now she's back on the court. It's a much closer game.
Gannon has maintained the same pace through most of this game. Papic inside. She gets that bucket right back.
And Papic only has 4 points in the contest, though. Really relying on the shots of Brittany Betts and Nettie Blake so far, or the Lady Knights.
Nowak gives it to Simmons. Simmons now goes to Dudek. Back to Simmons. Simmons tries to drive inside. She does. Her shot will not fall. Blake gets her legs taken out from under her. She went down hard. Simmons went down hard as well.
And it looks like the foul is going to be on Simmons. And both players getting up very slowly. We'll look at the replay right here. Simmons going up, runs into Blake. Simmons then on the rebound just falls down, trips Nettie Blake, kind of like a tabletop prank right there. As Nettie Blake falls over on top of Simmons. Both players okay, checking out. That's always good to see. Did not see the substitution for Jenny Tees for Gannon. We know that. The other one for Bloomsburg, we'll have to find out in a moment.
Bloomsburg, it is number 24. 42, Masieski. Bringing it up now is Gannon. Inside to Papic. Papic inside to Tees. Tees pulls up. Her shot will fall as well. Jenny Tees extends the lead.
And just like that, back from an 8-point lead to 12 points. That's something Gannon does. When they think you're getting on a run, they'll continue to make shots as Masieski puts the basket in.
Masieski gets the bucket right back. The lead's still at 10 for Gannon. Sundberg has possession, gives it to Sebald. Molly Sebald thought about stepping inside, so they kicks it over to Bats. Now to Sundberg. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Tried to get a tease. It gets tipped out by Ford. Gannon has 9 seconds on the shot clock.
And something to note, Tuesday night against California, Gannon was tied at halftime at 24 points. Came out in a big run, led by as many as 11. California was able to come back though and even take the lead as Bats takes another 3.
Long 3 by Bats, no good. Tees tried to save it, but threw it up into the rafters. Good effort by Tees, but the Huskies will get the ball back.
And that's great effort as you're hearing the applause from Gannon and fans cheering her on. She went into the second or third row of the bleachers, threw the ball up so high it actually hit the championship banners that Edinboro has hanging above the doors on the other side of the court. Great effort there, trying to make sure her team takes in the lead.
Ford drives inside, gets double teamed, but she draws the foul. Sundberg doesn't agree with it.
And it is going to be on Sunburg because we have another media approaching.
And we're going to take a break. Gannon leading by 10.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of the PSAC Championships, and there you can find all your PSAC news on psacsports.org, and there's a lot of it going on right now.
Yeah, baseball and softball starting up, tennis starting to go on as well. Indoor track and field championships were last weekend, and basketball still going on though. PSAC tournaments ending this weekend. We always have the NCAAs as March Madness is in full swing. D1, D2, D3 as well, all the divisions getting together and putting together the biggest tournament in all the NCAA.
Bloomsburg trying to keep their hopes of defending their championship alive, as it's Ford who hits her first.
And that is her first point of the game, and she's 82% from the line, and she makes both.
And Bloomsburg has been perfect from the line today. They haven't gotten there very much. Bats gets possession from Sunburg. Sunburg gets it right back. Bloomsburg definitely pressuring Gannon more up the court. Sebald kicks it over. Bats for three. That is no good, too strong. Masieski gets the rebound.
And a tough rebound there, battling with Nettie Blake, who also kind of pushed Masieski. No foul call.
Dudek gets the shot and pulls within 6.
This is the closest it's been for a very long time. Back to the first half with 11:15 left. Bloomsburg's defense starting to be a lot more pesky. Their offense starting to click too.
Sunburg brings it up. She's double teamed and has to call a timeout, as Dudek and Kaminsky did a great job on her. And now we're going to take a look at some replays as this game has gotten close.
You see right here, Brittany Batts, a great head fake, dribbling over just about a foot or two, hitting the big three. She has 4 of them in the game. She has 12 points overall to lead all scorers in this contest. Marla Simmons, a free throw line jumper. She has 5 in the contest. She averages 6 coming in. And then Jen Poppett, she only has 4 points in this game. We've really not called her name a lot, but she's been great in the defensive end. And then Jenny T, she has 4 points of her own, showing a lot of great hustle as well on the defensive end and trying to keep rebounds in for her team. Then you also have Masieski. She has 2 points in this game, going up against Nettie Blake, getting the ball to go in. And then Dudek against Nettie Blake gets the layup to roll in. And like you said, Bloomsburg doesn't have a lot of free throw opportunities. They only have 6. As we look at the last PSAC champions, Bloomsburg winning it last year. Edinburgh, the host of the Final Four, winning it the 2 years prior. And then Gannon the year prior to that. So the only team that's not won of the 4 that are here is Westchester. They might try to look and claim their title this season.
Yeah, and that's just within the last 15 years. You see a lot of Shippensburg in the late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of California then for the next 3 years. Millersville stuck in there too, IUP. Gannon, though, they've only been in the conference for, this is their 6th season in the conference. They've done a great job of getting in there and getting that championship in 2010. As you said, Edinburgh and Bloomsburg as well have championships, so everybody trying to add to their total.
And California made 11 straight finals appearances, only winning 4 of them. A lot of parity in the PSAC, although you have a lot of streaky teams winning back-to-back championships and such. Anybody can win it given every year to year.
Papich inside. She throws the shot. That's good. Jen Papich extends the lead back up to 8.
And Bloomsburg, their offense just has to keep rolling, and the defense force a lot more shots Gannon doesn't want to take.
Dudek gets it kicked out now to Novak. Dudek gets called, draws the foul, excuse me. It's going to go against Sundberg.
That is Sundberg's second. That is the 6th team foul for Gannon. They are one more foul, and they have put Bloomsburg at the line, which could really help the Huskies' cause because they are one of the best free throw shooting teams in all the PSAC.
Clunk will inbound. 10:36 left to go. Gannon leading by 8. Gives it to Dudek. Thought about a 3, but now she's going to let a play get set. Goes to Ford, to Masieski. Masieski draws the foul on Seabald.
And that is Seabald's 4th foul in this game, so we might see her check out. It looks like Brennan is approaching the bench. That's the 17th foul, though, just like I said. So Bloomsburg, every foul now going to go to the line, which could really help their chances.
First shot is good for Masieski. Bloomsburg using these foul shots to get back into the game.
And it's actually Morgan Neighbors checking in for Seabald, not Brianna Brennan. We actually have not seen Brennan in quite a while.
Masieski hits the second as well. All of a sudden, it's back to a 6-point game. Gannon trying to pass out of this press. They do get across the half-court line. Neighbors gets double teamed, almost gives the ball up, almost triple teamed, throws it over to Sundberg, but it's going to go out of bounds. Bloomsburg gets possession off the turnover.
Well, look at the replay right here. Great double team from Bloomsburg. Sundberg not able to track it down and actually hit her hand. And Sundberg just not fast enough to track it before it goes out. And Bloomsburg right now could cut this lead to as little as 3 or 2 if you get a rare 4-point play.
2, Nowak, good. It's a 4-point game. And Bloomsburg has yet to lose in the 2014 calendar year. They're hoping to keep it that way now as they're trying to make a comeback. Neighbors passes it over to Papich, now to Sundberg. Sundberg resets. Gives it to Batts. Brittany Batts to Papich. She's going to try and drive inside, throws up a shot. That's good. Jen Papich adds 2 more points.
Something I've seen from Gannon, they're a lot more passing team, passing it to different upper players. As Ford takes a shot, she's going to get fouled by Neighbors on the way up.
See here on the replay, Neighbors trying to get a hand in there. Was just trying to block the shot almost. Can't though, makes contact, and Bloomsburg wants to get at the line, and it's Ford this time.
She is 81% from the line on the year. Misses the shot though. As Bloomsburg was perfect up to that point. 8 for 8, now 8 for 9.
Sadowski checks in, as will Birchtold. That shot is good for Ford. Cuts the lead down to 5.
Ford averages 12 points a game. She only has 3 so far. It's still only a 5-point game though. Bloom can easily come back from this.
Batts for 3. That's good. Brittany Batts has been lights out from beyond the arc.
That's 5 3-pointers today. All of her 15 points from beyond the arc. She is shooting absolutely lights out.
Sadowski's shot does not fall. She gets her own rebound, surrounded by maroon jerseys. Gannon comes away with it.
Like I said before, Bloomsburg's not playing towards the basket to get rebounds, but Gannon is. That's why they have the rebounding advantage so far.
Batts once again for 3. That's no good. Bloomsburg gets the rebound. Clunk gives it to Dudek. She drives inside, throws up a shot. That's good. The lead now 44-38. And we're going to have a timeout here with 8:29 left to go. Bloomsburg calls the timeout, trying to get something set up.
And in my opinion, I'm sure Bill Cleary is going to just try and set his defense because the offense is starting to click. As you see, Nowak, she has 12 points in the game right now. She leads the way for Bloomsburg. And Jen Papich, she has 8 points. as it is 44-38 Gannon. And we just got an update in the men's game. I believe I overheard correctly, Gannon is winning in their men's game. They are playing Westchester. I'm sure the Gannon fans would be happy if both teams get to the finals in each of their tournaments, but right now, Gannon, they're gonna have a tough task holding off this Bloomsburg Husky team, because Bloomsburg, like you said, has not lost at all in 2014. I'm sure they're gonna want to keep it that way, but in the overall scheme of things, I'm not saying it's good for Bloom to lose, but when you're on a 17-game winning streak, eventually you're going to have to lose. You're going to have your due. And if you're going to make the NCAA tournament, I'm sure you'd much rather lose this time than in the NCAAs.
Yeah, and you'll talk to a lot of coaches that say whenever you're on such a long winning streak, you're not playing the perfect game. Sometimes you get the bounces, and that might be one of the cases. Bloomsburg hasn't shot all that great today. If they come back and win this game, it might be a little bit different, but if you're Bill Cleary, you might say, okay, if we take this loss, guess what, girls? You know you can play better. You know you can shoot better. You're going to come back more motivated for the NCAA tournament.
And although it's not guaranteed that Bloom will make it, being so high in the regional rankings, it's hard to see them not get into the tournament. But I'm sure they're still playing like this might be their last game of the season.
Gannon with possession. Have a 6-point lead, 8:15 left to go. Bats pulls up, looks for some help. She's going to keep it herself, though. Gives it over to Sundberg. Bats trying to get open. Sundberg goes to Blake. Blake inside, fights off the defender. Can't keep possession, though. It's going to go out of bounds off of Tanowski.
We're going to see Neighbors check back into the game for Amanda Birchtold. Gannon has a fresh shot clock now as we have 7:59 left in the second half.
Blake gives it to Bats. Brittany Bats throws it up to Sundberg. Back to Bats. Now to Papich. Papich trying to go inside, so she kicks it out to Neighbors. Morgan Neighbors gets it stripped. It's going to be taken away by Dudak. She brings it up, almost lost the handle, drives inside, and draws the foul on Papich.
It's either going to be Papich or Bats, as both of them are back there. I believe you are correct, though. And it is Papich on the foul. That will be her third of the game. Going to send Ford, or excuse me, Dudek to the line.
Dudek at the line for 2 shots, can cut into this lead and make it a 4-point game. She hits her first.
She's a 79% free throw shooter coming into this game on the year. She has 5 points now in this contest.
7:40 left to go. Dudak hits the second, and it's a 4-point game as Simmons is going to check in for Dudak.
Marla Simmons, she has 5 points in this contest as well. But she's a higher free throw percentage shooter, but she's playing a lot better defensively, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far.
Sundberg brings it up, gives it to Neighbors, back to Sundberg. She drives inside, kicks it out. Bats thought about 3, gonna step inside, take a long 2, and that's good. Brittany Bats adding 2 more points. She's up to 17.
And Bloomsburg has to find an answer to defend Brittany Bats. She keeps shooting lights out. She has 17 of the 46 points today.
Bats almost got the steal, still rolls around. Neighbors gets it now. She's looking for help. Bats gets possession, and now Gannon's gonna bring it up. Blake has it, throws it up. That's no good. Rebound pops out to Clunk.
That one was tipped out by Ford.
Clunk draws the foul. Gonna go against Gannon.
And I think it's gonna go against Brittany Bats. That is her third of the game as Clunk lost control of the ball. That's the 10th foul for Gannon now. Bloomsburg still only has 4. Now Bloomsburg's in the double bonus, so they automatically get 2 shots every time now.
And that's big because Bloomsburg, that's truly how they've been able to come back in this game despite trading buckets with Gannon. Clunk at the line, makes her first. 46-41 now the score. 6:47 left to go as Tees is going to check in for Blake. Nowak also checks in. Clunk misses her second. Nowak gets the rebound, almost had it stripped. It's on the floor, and Gannon's going to come away with it.
Unlucky break there for Nowak as Bats came in to strip the ball away.
Neighbors thought about going to Bats, instead kicks it back to Sundberg. Kelly Sundberg gives it to Bats. Over to Papich. Turns, takes a shot. That's no good. Rebound falls to Ford.
And this game right now has picked up the pace a lot. It's a 5-point game with 6:16 left. Not a lot of time left for Bloom to possibly make their comeback bid.
Nowak gives it to Ford. Inside to Sadowski. She turns, throws him a shot, and it's good. Gannon fans wanted to travel, but it's a 3-point game.
That was actually Masieski on the shot, not Sadowski. As Masieski puts her total at 6 points. It's now a 3-point game, the closest has been in basically the last 20 minutes or so of game time.
Sundberg gives it to Bats, back to Sundberg. Looks to drive inside, instead gives it to Tees. Now out to Neighbors for three. That's no good. Masieski gets the rebound.
Bloomsburg could tie it on this possession. If they can hit a three, you might try and look for Catherine Nowak.
5:27. Masieski kicks it over. Masieski could not control the pass. 5:22 left. Gannon will have possession.
We're going to see Nowak check out of the game right now, as well as Morgan Clunk for Kaminsky and Dudek. It's going to be Gannon ball. Catherine Nowak's not done a lot today, but she's your best shooter. I'm surprised they didn't try and find her on that possession, try and maybe tie things up.
Sundberg brings it up, gives it to Neighbors. Morgan Neighbors pulls up, gives it to Blake inside. Now out to Sundberg for three. That's no good. Kaminsky gets the rebound.
And Gannon now has started to go cold on offense with 5 minutes left.
Kick out Simmons for three. That's good, and this game is tied at 46.
And Bloomsburg has finally ended the comeback. They've tied it all up, being down by a lot of points. I believe it was as many as 14 at one time. Now Gannon on their heels, gonna have to try and make a shot.
Sundberg gives it to Papich. Papich turns, takes a shot, no good. Dudek gets the rebound.
And it looked like that shot might have been blocked from Papich. Not exactly sure who's the defender. As I was looking at the shot, trying to see if it was going in. We're gonna see Brianna Brennan check in for Gannon in a moment.
Ford drives inside, kicks it over, but it's gonna be tipped out of bounds by Sundberg with 4:13 left to go.
And Papich checking out, Ford checking out for Nowak for Bloomsburg. With 4:13 left, Bloomsburg could take their first lead. The last time they had a lead, I'm trying to find it here. It's 3:17 of the first half. So basically, a whole half of game time almost.
Dudek gives it to Nowak. There's going to be a foul. Offensive foul. It's going to go against Kaminsky.
Kaminsky called for the foul. That's her third. It's an illegal screen. We don't have a replay to show you, but it looks like she was kind of strapped up with a couple players. She was kind of moving the screen with her feet, and Gannon could easily take the lead back on this possession.
4 minutes to play in the second half. This game tied at 46. Bats brings it up for Gannon. Gives it to Sundberg. Inside to Blake. Nettie Blake backs up, gets the shot to fall, and gets 2 more points.
Nettie Blake still has not put in double-digit points. That's her first 2 of the second half.
Dudek gives it to Simmons. She drives inside, draws the offensive foul, and she will go to the line for 2. But first, we are going to take a timeout here with 3:37 left to go. Gannon leading 48-46.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of PSAC women's basketball, and there you take a look at our YouTube pages. You can catch full sports, full California Vulcan sports at CUTV Sports 1, as well as our News Center page, CUTV News Center, where you can see the broadcast from earlier in the year.
We're going to see Simmons go to the line. She's an 82% free throw shooter off the foul from Morgan Neighbors. Neighbors is still out there. Papich back into the game as well. Nettie Blake is checked out.
Simmons misses her first.
I believe that's only the second missed free throw for Bloomsburg all game.
Second one up, that one is good. It's a 1-point game once again. Judak gets the steal. Gives it to Kaminsky. Kaminsky drives inside, throws up the shot. That's good, and Bloomsburg takes their first lead of the half.
And like I said, the comeback has been completed. We're going to see Nettie Blake check in at the next opportunity. But Gannon, they blew an 11-point lead Tuesday against Cal, blew a 14-point lead here against Bloomsburg.
It's going to be a foul down low. It's going to go against Erica Matieski.
That is her third of the game. It's Nettie Blake coming in for Brianna Brennan now. Nettie Blake, she's not scored a lot this half, only 2 points, but she's great on the defensive end, getting a lot of rebounds as well.
Inbound pass, Papich draws the foul, and she'll go to the line for two.
We'll see who the foul's going to be on. It's going to be on 33, Marla Simmons. That's her fourth. And Papich at the line on the year, 76%. One of the better free throw percentage hitters in the PSAC with her height.
And Ford is going to check in here. Papich's first shot up, that is good. Ford checks in, as well as Sebald.
If Papich can hit this one, Gannon would take the lead right back.
3:15 left. Papich does hit it and gives the Lady Knights the 1-point lead.
And Papich is now hit double digits. She has 10 points. Nettie Blake still with 9.
Sundberg, that's Ford with possession. Nowak gets it back. She's going to get called for the travel. Possession goes back to Gannon.
We have exactly 3 minutes left. We'll see right here, Nowak did take a few steps right there trying to get control of herself. Looked like she might have stepped on a foot of a Gannon player as well that caused the travel there.
Sundberg brings it up. Pressured, goes to Bats. Now around to Papich. Papich trying to behind the back dribble. Possession going to stay with Gannon as there's a foul.
That foul going to be on Masieski. That is her fourth. Surprising call there. I don't know if that was necessarily a foul. Papich lost control of it, and she just kind of took a tumble. Bill Cleary right now is not happy with that call.
Papich at the line. Makes her first. Now 18 fouls for Bloomsburg. So Gannon will go to the line for fouls.
They're still only in the 1-and-1 though. They do not get the double bonus until Bloomsburg has 10 team fouls as Papich misses the second.
Misses the second. Possession's going to go to Bloomsburg. The Gannon fans not happy about that.
We do not have a replay to show you there, but Gannon's bench not so happy about the call either, as Bloomsburg could tie it up with a 2-pointer here.
Dudek goes across the court to Ford. Ford draws the foul, and she will go to the line with a chance to tie it.
And that's Molly Sebald. She has just fouled out of the game now. That's her 5th foul. So we will not be seeing her anymore in this contest. She finishes with 5 points. We're going to see Ford go to the line. She has missed a free throw today on the year, 81%. All 3 of her points today are from the free throw line.
Not happy with that one. Checking in will be Morgan Neighbors. But Bloomsburg here, Ford at the line with a chance to tie it. Misses her first.
And Bloomsburg, such a good free throw shooting team when they were trying to come back from down by 14. Now, when they have a chance to possibly tie the game up, they start missing their free throws as she misses both.
Gannon gets the rebound, and this is a big possession.
Those two missed free throws could really come back to bite the Huskies later on in this game.
Ford normally very good from the line, 81.4%, missed both of those. Sundberg pressured, gives it to Batts, back to Sundberg. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sundberg drives inside, kicks it back out to Neighbors. 4 seconds. Neighbors gets tied up, throws up a shot. That does not fall. Ford comes down with the rebound.
We're under 2 minutes now, 1:55.
Pass inside, almost picked off. Dudek manages to get possession and does a great job of calling a timeout.
And Dudek right there kind of took a topsy-turvy twirl on the court. Ended up with the ball in her hands. Very smart play. Calling the timeout, the senior mentality right there. She only has 6 points, but a big possession here if Bloomsburg can tie this game up. But we're going to look at the player of the second half, Allison. It has to be Brittany Batts for Gannon.
Brittany Batts has been absolutely incredible. She's been lights out from beyond the arc, and we're going to take a look at some of those shots now.
And Brittany Batts, she's hit 5 3-pointers and 1 2-pointer in this game. She has 17 points, leading all scorers in the contest. She has just been lights out from 3-point land. She's missed a few of them, had one even block, but that was the best one in my opinion. Doing the head fake, dribbling over, putting the shot up, hitting the shot as well, as she's had an up and down junior year after a big sophomore season, but she's coming up big when Gannon needs her most.
And Bloomsburg needs somebody to step up now as they're down by 2, 150 left to play. Dudek with possession, she's trying to find somebody. She finds Kaminsky. Kaminsky inside to Ford. Ford turns, takes the shot, that's no good. Does not reset the shot clock, but it doesn't matter because Gannon gets the rebound.
We have a minute and a half left, Gannon up by 2.
Gannon content to slow the pace down. Sundberg finds Batts. Brittany Batts to Sundberg. Over now to Neighbors. Inside to Papich. Papich can't control it. Kaminsky gets the steal.
I would look for Catherine Nowak on this possession. She's really been shut down, but she's your best shooter.
Dudek can't get it to fall. Batts gets the rebound.
Dudek was wide open right there. Just ended up right under the basket. We're going to get a timeout by Gannon.
Dudek, I think, thought that she had a foul called on her, but Gannon does call the timeout with exactly 1 minute to go and a 2-point lead.
And right now, the 2-point lead is not safe by any means. Bloomsburg has gone cold from the field again, but like I said, Catherine Nowak, she's lights out from 3-point land, from beyond the arc, from downtown, whatever you want to call it. If she gets the ball in her hands, Jen Papich has been covering her all day, and that's what's held her to only 12 points. But it doesn't matter how many points you make, it matters when you make them. If Nowak gets the open look for a 3 and she buries it, Bloomsburg could be well on their way to possibly sealing a deal if they can with that shot, much like Jen Papich did with the game-winning layup back when these teams played in December.
The last time these two teams played, as you said, Papich was the hero with 3 seconds left. Bloomsburg looking for somebody now to step up, but they need a stop first. Sundberg brings it up, kicks it over to Neighbors. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Neighbors still has it, give it to Batch. She's double teamed immediately. Inside, Papich, open, yes, and the foul.
And Jen Papich right there, one of the seniors on this team, completely fired up. We'll see who the foul's on. I believe it's going to be on Masieski. And it is. That is her 4th. Team foul number 9. So Gannon, next foul that Bloomsburg commits, will send to the line for double bonus.
46.4 seconds left. Papich extends the lead up to 5. Bloomsburg's going to have to hurry. Ford. Nowak spins, trying to hit a 2, draws the foul on Papich.
That's going to be Papich's 4th. Papich is not getting a lot of foul trouble throughout the year, but right now, Nowak is going right at her, getting her to commit the fouls. Nowak needs to hit both of these shots to really give Bloom their best chance in the end of the game.
On the year, Nowak, as she misses her first, shoots 89.4%.
That's a big miss. Nowak definitely needs to hit this one. If she cannot make this shot, Gannon might be able to pull away with some free throws.
Makes that one. Bloomsburg calls the timeout to try to set something up, down by 4. 37.7 seconds to go in this first semifinal.
And right now, Bloom, they do not have to foul because there's a 7-second differential, but you're down by 4, so you might have to, based on the numbers on the scoreboard. If you're down by 2, I would say, okay, don't foul, just play defense, but being down by 2 possessions, you need as much time as you can get.
Now we're going to take a look at the regional rankings. Once again, right now, Gannon sits in the driver's seat. Remember, the top seed in the region will host. They would love to have hosting rights for that Atlantic Regional Tournament. Glenville still going strong, though. They're at 2. Edinburgh still in at 3. Bloomsburg, they're at 4 right now. So they're pretty safe, but they would like to come back and win this game.
Yeah, the next 30 seconds of this game could determine a lot because Gannon, they win this game, they're in the finals. Glenville State, they play later on today. If Glenville State happens to lose this, that might seal the deal for Gannon as the #1 seed, as we're going to get a foul called, I believe, on Kaminsky.
No, it's going to be against Dudak, I believe. Kaminsky was going in there as well if Dudak couldn't get the foul. Sundberg will go to the line.
And that's a double bonus, and Sundberg was the hero in Tuesday night's game against California, hitting 4 late free throws to really seal the deal. Let's see if she can do the same here against Bloomsburg.
Sundberg makes her first. It's a 5-point game with exactly 37 seconds left.
That is the first point for the senior Kelly Sundberg all game long. That might have sealed the deal for Gannon.
Sundberg's second shot is up. That is good as well, and 6 points for Gannon right now.
And you don't need to force the 3, but if you want a 3-pointer, go to Catherine Nowak. She's your best option.
Kaminsky almost has it stolen away, gets it back inside. Ford, she throws him a shot. That's no good. Rebound comes down to Papich. There's going to be a foul.
And Dudak is either going to get a call for the foul or Simmons. She's coming up like, I had the ball. Why is there a foul call? I had the ball. We'll see right here. Papich clearly came down with it. Foul going to go on Simmons. That's her 5th. She's out of the game. And the Gannon fans are starting to stand up and cheer. And really, realistically, these free throws might seal the game for Gannon and send them to the finals.
22.8 seconds to go in this game. Jen Papich at the line. Gannon has a 6-point lead.
Papich does get 2 shots because it is the double bonus with 22.8 seconds left.
Her first shot is up. That one no good. Checking into the game will be Brennan for Nettie Blake. Papich, second shot up. That one no good as well. Nowak comes down with it. Throws it up quickly to Dudak. Dudak drives inside, throws him a shot. That shot no good. Papich gets the rebound, and this should end it.
And you have to foul. You're going to send Bass to the line. The foul committed by Jocelyn Ford. That's her second, but that'll definitely do it in my opinion with 11.7 left. Bass on the year, an 80% free throw shooter, but Dudak had to have hit that shot to really get the game in their hands. But the Gannon fans traveling from the Hammer Mill Center down to Macomb Fieldhouse, about a 20-minute drive, cheering their team on to victories. Bass misses the first. So you never know. All might not be said and done if she misses this one because Nowak has the 3-point potential as Papich checks out of the game too. That might open her up.
Bats throws up her second. That one is good. 11.7 seconds left, a 7-point lead. Quickly up, Dudak thought about a 3. She's going to throw it up over 2 defenders. That's no good. Tries to get her on rebound, draws a foul.
Looks like it's going to go against Sundberg. That will be her 3rd, but 3.7 seconds left. It's going to take a miracle and a prayer for Bloomsburg to come back in this game, even if they make both of these free throws.
Dudek at the line. Hits her first. Makes it a 6-point game. But as you said, 3.7 seconds to go. Looks like Gannon's going to be moving on. Second shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Gannon, and Gannon will move on to the PSAC Finals.
And they await the winner of the next game coming up right after this, Edinburgh and Westchester. If they face Westchester, they beat them already this year, but if they play Edinburgh, that's going to be a tall task because they lost them twice already this season.
Gannon wins 57-51 in the first semifinal. And we are going to take a look at the PSAC bracket to see where we stand right now. As we said, Gannon moving on in this semifinal as they knock off the defending champion Bloomsburg. The other semifinal that we played later today is between Edinburgh and Westchester. That winner will play Gannon.
And it's going to be a tough test, like I said. Edinburgh, although they've beaten them twice, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year in any given sport. As the Gannon faithful have really come out today, I'm sure we'll see them again tomorrow, especially if it's Gannon-Edinburgh, because that's a big budding rivalry. But if it's Gannon-Westchester, there's going to be a lot of fans here for that too. Macomb Fieldhouse might be packed tomorrow.
Yes, it will be. That'll do it for us in the first semifinal at the Macomb Fieldhouse. Thank you for watching CUTV's coverage of PSAC Women's Championship Basketball.